Well, y'all know that ketchup's usually beast mode in the mud, but she ain't no good when her hitch is dragging. Surprised I didn't tear that box off. We're gonna see if we can get her out. Maybe the 240's got enough. It's bad when you come on to work on something and it has to pull you out first. Let's see what we got. Alright. I don't know how shaky this is gonna be. We're gonna try it. I'm not a professional excavator operator. My chain's about to come off. Oh, we got it. Alright. Let's see what she's got. Oh, yeah. Let me see if I can track. There she goes, she's tracking straight. Good deal, catch up. She's tracking halfway straight. Alright, that's probably good enough. See how bad we did. Oh yeah. Did it hurt my box? It's okay. Built that strong enough apparently. Apparently my blinker's still on, didn't even know it. Yeah, that was a hole. She would have made it, I think, if the hitch wouldn't have dragged. I had enough speed, but it's the way it goes sometimes. Way of the road, way of the road. Hey guys, welcome back from classic work. Got another good one for y'all today. Got a 240D John Deere. She's had a little thumb accident. I actually repaired this thumb a couple of years ago. Actually, it was last year. Feels like a long time ago. Ripped this whole tooth off, and that was the weld that I put back on there. So it's good to see that she's still holding up, but yeah, she's got a little little oops. So yeah, it's bent and ripped half the weld off, and this side is cracking too. So yeah, not a good day for the old thumb. I'm still debating on what I should try to do. Because I thought about cutting the whole thing off, but if we do that, that's still going to have that twist in it. I'm almost wanting to keep it on there and see if we can't bend it back with the machine. I think that's probably going to be the best course of action. So what I'm going to do, I believe, is take a torch and cut anywhere that's interfering out. Cut the old weld off on the outside as much as I can, inside too. That way I don't have to fight it when it's all together. And then we'll take the thumb and push it down into the dirt, and we'll use the weight of the machine to try to coax this piece back up in there. And then put some pressure on it and see if I can't weld it like it is. But that's going to be the trick with a hole in it. you can tell, you know, I've cut the weld back. They had some kind of lineup pin that was in here. I'm guessing for ease of manufacturing that this piece had an ear on it that it would line up with this piece when they mounted it, when they welded it together, because this was a factory weld that broke. It tore it right out. So yeah, we got to do better than they did. The weld itself, it tore some base metal out, but it wasn't very much. It looked like they probably welded that with, that weld looks a lot like spray arc probably, if I were to take a guess. They ought to put more than that on there, because that's only about a 5/16 weld, maybe a very small 3/8. That's not enough for that big plate. So yeah, normally this kind of stuff don't give trouble. It's usually the stick, but if you can tell, the stick has been reinforced several times. It's got this piece up under it. This is the original part of the boom, and then it's got a homemade plate, looks like it's welded to that, and then it's got this welded on top of that. So they did a good job reinforcing the stick, just not this component. And I imagine what happened was it probably got a little bit of a tear somewhere, and then it just, you know, banging and banging and banging, and eventually it just ripped it out. So not knocking the manufacturer. You run into stuff all the time. You can't never build something big, you know, heavy enough, because somebody will always tear it up. But just a little look at it. So yeah, I'm gonna take the torch a little bit more and do a little bit more cutting where I think it's necessary before I run out of oxygen. And yeah, then we'll crank this bad dude up again, and we'll start putting some pressure on this thumb, try to get it back straight. All right, I'll catch up with y'all in a bit. All right, got it cleaned up pretty decent. So we're gonna attempt to take the thumb and push it in the dirt, see if we can't get that twist out. All right, let's see what it looks like. Okay then, apparently my battery died on my camera before I had a chance to show y'all what's going on. So finally, I could not, whatever I did, I could not get this side to line up. As you can tell here, they're pretty straight. So the only thing that's really got a lot of a twist in it is up there towards the top. So hopefully I may have to compensate for that, but they are bent. That's gonna be the thing. Be obvious as everything. But we're just gonna have to try to put them on as straight as we can. And it's not ideal, but that's just the way it goes. So yeah, I'm going to get a chain come along it to the stick back and forth and get our fit a little bit better, and we'll have to work with the machine left and right and all that kind of jazz. So it's gonna be a lot of screwing around with it, trying to get it lined back up, but it should be doable. So I'm gonna get back to it. Well, let me show you what's going on here. Okay, so we're hitting here, which is fine, but you see the nice 5/8 gap we got up there. And then this side, it's got about a 1/2 inch gap here, and it's closed up there. So what that means is there's a giant twist in it. And that wouldn't make a big deal other than the thumb is offset, so that's not going to work. Man, I don't like that. I think I'm going to call the customer and we may have to get a new piece there. I do not want to fool with that. Good Lord. If you can tell, the shear pin's broke because this is sliding out. The pin is. You can see where pieces of it are. Alright. Good deal then. I think I gotta call him and tell him the good news. That ain't gonna work though. Okay, well, I got it off. Took some heating and beating. Well, minus the heating. But yeah, you can definitely see that yeah, she had a pretty good sized twist in her. So I talked to the customer and he agreed with me to go ahead, and we're gonna cut these 2 plates off, and we got a guy down the road that's got a plasma table. He's gonna make me some new ears, and then I'll have to save this boss that's in there. So I'll cut it off of there, probably gouge it off and clean it up with a grinder, and then get him to cut some holes in the new ears, and we'll put all that back together. So shouldn't be too bad. It's gonna take more than today though, and I tell you what, it's hot out here, big time. It's probably only like 85, but I don't know. I'm ready to see some cold weather. Anyways, so that's the plan. I'm gonna get all my junk cleaned up and throw this on the back of the truck and go down the road and see if he can help me out with them pieces. So this will probably be a next week job by the time I get all the ears and everything, but I shall return. Well, tomorrow is today. Really, next week is today. Isn't that great how video works? Anyways, you can tell it's dried up quite a bit. So we got the new part. This is the bolts off the old one. I cut it off this morning. I didn't show all that because, you know, cut, grind, you get the idea. We got new plates that were made. They're shaped a little different, but the geometry is the same. We got a new plate for the bottom here. And I'm going to tack it on the back of the truck, make sure everything's nice and square. And then we'll weld it up on the back of the truck, make sure everything's still copacetic, and then I'll mount it back to the thumb, and then we'll weld it to the thumb, or weld it to the stick. So that's where we're at. We'll take a couple more measurements on this and be sure everything's right. I apologize for the wind. I wasn't expecting it to be this windy today. So, yeah, I got come along tied up there, trying to hold the thumb up in the right position. We've got a pretty decent fit. About 1/8 gap down here at the bottom. It looks good. Up in here, let's see. For whatever reason, this side's got a little more gap here at the top. Probably about 1/4 of an inch. It's just that one corner up there. I don't know what the deal is. We may have a little twist in the stick. I don't know. This side is good. So I don't mind a little bit of gap. It's going to be, that'll flow right in there and that'll look really good. So on this, originally, they had like a 5/16 weld, and that's what broke, that's what tore. So I'm going to put a 1/2 inch on both sides if I got enough room. That ought to be more than satisfactory enough. It's probably going to be dark 30 when I get done, because I think it's just now 5:30. I'm going to stay here till it's done. So I'm going to get this dude tacked on real good, and then we're going to lay the stick down right here so I can do all this in position rather than trying to fight a vertical up. standing, because I'm 6 foot tall and I'm eye level with that pin right there, so that'd be a long stretch going up that far. So, alright then, looking pretty good. We get some tacks on it, we'll start burning on this turd. We're running out of daylight fast, guys. Sun's way over the clouds now. But it's nice out here, I tell you what. So yeah, got lots of rod burning now. I think it's going to be pretty good. I think I can get on the inside, get something to stand on so I can get up in there. But I got good access to the bottom now. So we should be in good shape. I don't have a bolt for this. I sheared the one off that was in it, so I'll have to get one. But she is wrapping up nicely. We'll do a little more montage and call this job done. Let's see what time it is, see how long this takes me. It's 6 o'clock. As of right now, it's 6:08. So, let's see how long it takes me. I don't know if you can see it, but it's starting to rain. I may get rained out, I don't know. But don't lack much. Just like the underside up here. I'll put 1/2 inch weld. This side, the other side too, turned out pretty decent. Nothing to write home about, but it did good. And I got to come back in the morning, get that bolt put back in there, since I didn't think about it earlier. But yeah, that's probably where I'm going to wrap it up tonight. I'll finish this up if I don't get rained out. So I'll see y'all in the morning. Man, it's been a long day. Let's see how long it took us. 9:16, so almost exactly 3 hours. I got everything picked up on the truck. That took, yeah, that's probably about right. Well, the rain held off for the most part, so yeah, I'll be back in the morning. But well, we're back out this morning. I went and picked up the bolt for this guy right here, and I replaced the grease circuit. Got broke, I think somewhere in transit. But man, that well wasn't looking too good last night, but I'm much happier with that this morning. Looks like that's gonna be just fine. Inside don't look too bad. This side here looks pretty decent as well. So good deal. Nighttime me did a pretty good job. So I'm gonna run her through her paces real quick and make sure we don't have any anything happen that's going to be a surprise. So I'm gonna pick a few things up and just kind of beat her around a little bit, make sure it's going to stay. That wasn't anything too serious. I didn't grab no big trees or nothing, but we got the grease in the joint good, and as far as I can tell, everything looks solid. So once again, guys, hope you enjoyed it. Hope you got something out of it. Till next time, y'all take care, and I'll see y'all again for classic work.